Hey YouTube, it's Jody. If you've seen my previous videos, you know it's been a while since I've posted anything, so I apologize for that. School's just been really busy, and then when I have had free time, I just haven't really had anything to talk about, and I don't want to post just for the sake of posting. So I apologize for the delay, but exciting news. I have some things I'm really excited to share with you guys. So, need to take the cap off of this. Let's make a drink and let's chat. Okay, so first things first, this is probably the most exciting part. I found my summer job and I'm really happy. I decided not to go back to the golf course this year. I think I've kind of gone as far as I can with that. So I decided to look for something else, and I was nervous for a while, you guys. I had a couple of interviews, but I did actually end up getting an offer from a municipality. I'm not going to give out any details, but it was pretty far from where I'm based, and it's an expensive area, and the money was not that great. So I ultimately decided not to take that one, and after I turned that down, I got pretty nervous. I wasn't having a ton of luck. And then a few weeks ago, I had 2 interviews, and I ended up getting one of the jobs. It's with a landscape company. It's a landscape horticulturist position. And the best part is that company is actually based in Olds, so I'll be able to stay down here for the summer. They did offer to have me come on part-time in April, so I think I'm gonna do that. I think I can handle that with how school is now. So that's just really exciting, and since I've been in school here, you guys, I have absolutely come to love Olds. I love this community. It's a great place to live, and I'm excited to just see it in the summer. I'm excited to take this next step, and hopefully something works out long term, because right now this position is just for the summer. But that's just super exciting, and I wanted to share it with you guys. The other thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is my classes. So one of the classes I'm doing right now is a landscape design course. And once I got past the frustration of trying to figure out the software, I'm not a very techie person. Once I got past that, the class started to be a lot more enjoyable. So it's been really cool because this course kind of ties together all the knowledge that we accumulate during the whole entire program. So everything I've learned over the last 2 years is kind of called back here. And we're starting to work on our final projects, so we're getting to do a lot more of our own designs. Our first few assignments were just replications. So that's been really fun, just getting to draw on my knowledge and kind of testing my own limits. My other class right now is a crop production course. I'm gonna be honest, that one's not as exciting, but you know, it's good knowledge, I guess. The fun thing about that one is we get to do a lot of research type assignments, which I really enjoy. So just gathering information, putting it together, a lot of writing, a lot of videos, quite unlike the ones I do for YouTube. Those ones are not fun to put together. They're presentations, they're boring. They're super awkward to film, they're super awkward to watch. Our instructor has us post them into a discussion forum. Anyway, it's not important, you guys. And then this past weekend, I went home and I was able to spend time with my family and spend time on the acreage. It made me a little sad that I won't be there this summer to take care of the acreage and take care of my nursery and those sorts of things. But depending on how things go, depending on my weekends, that kind of stuff, I can probably go home more than I have this school year. So I shall see. I got to reconnect with one of my high school friends. I spent Saturday evening with her. That was a ton of fun. She's really, really awesome. Maybe I'll bring her on here at some point. I don't know. Anyways, I think that's all my little life update. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next clip. Alright, you guys need to see this. I'm just out on campus enjoying the evening. It's absolutely gorgeous. And just take a look at this. It's mid-April, and we have plants flowering in Alberta, and maybe that doesn't sound like a big deal, but in this region, it definitely is to have flowers this early. So I'll just show you this again. I don't know how well you can see that. I've got a fairly large planting of this, and they've even got a little bit of it coming into the grass. So this is Glory of the Snow. It's a perennial. It flowers every year about this time, and then it goes into dormancy until next spring. So the campus also has these crocus flowers. I'm just really, really in love with these ones. They're a little bit pale from what I can tell, but besides that, they're really, really looking good. And they've got a few of these just kind of scattered through this bed. I don't know how well you can see that. But anyways, little fun fact, the spice saffron comes from this flower. It's made from the dried and ground stamen of this flower. So, can't quite see from here. I will put it somewhere in this video and show you guys, but just a little fun fact, thought you might like to know that. And then just come over here real quick. There's one more thing I want to show you, and that's this one in here. I don't actually know what this is, but if you guys are interested, I will certainly find out for you. So I just wanted to finish off by sharing a little bit of advice for you guys. If you're going into the green industry this year, especially if it's your first green industry horticulture type of job, I'm just going to share a few things, and these are things I've really been reminding myself of recently as I prepare for the summer. Okay, so just keep in mind, these are based on my personal experience, and most of that has been working at a golf course. So if you have other experience, or if you maybe don't agree with some of these or don't relate to them, just take it all with a grain of salt. It's very subjective, it's not objective. I'm gonna be honest about that. Okay, with that out of the way, my first tip is going to be bring extra socks. This especially pertains to the golf course. I was walking around lots in the mornings. It was dewy, sprinklers had been running, and my shoes, unfortunately, were not waterproof. So my socks got soaked very, very quickly, and those mornings are cold, so just bring extra socks. Make your life easier, okay? And the second one that kind of ties into this is dress in layers. And not only dress in layers, but dress heavier than you think you'll need to. Being cold all morning is not fun. It just really contributed to my misery my first year, which was the year I didn't really enjoy. So my second year, when I went back, I was a lot smarter, and it was earlier in the springtime when I went back, so I knew that I had to be much more conscious of that. So, geez, let me think here. I would do 2 wool sweaters, a hoodie, and then my thick work jacket over top of all of that. And some days that was barely enough. So dress heavily, dress in layers. It's absolutely worth it to invest in some quality work clothing. Again, just to make your life easier. Tip number 3 is going to be research the position that you applied for or that you're starting. And what I mean by this is try to talk to people who have done this job or try to find some accurate information online about it, and just give yourself a bit of an understanding of what it is that you're getting into, what it is that you're going to be doing. I remember the first summer I worked at the golf course. I basically went in thinking, okay, I got this. I can cut grass and take care of flowers. I got this. Turns out there's a lot more to it than that. I had no idea about raking sand traps. I had no idea at the time about aeration. I didn't know how much detail work, like string trimming and debris raking. I just had no idea how much went into it. So just do some research. And this is going to give you a chance to make sure your skills to make sure that your skills are sharp, or maybe this will help you to identify some areas going into the job where you can tell your boss, hey, I'm not super strong in this area, but I know I can do this really well. And a good boss will appreciate that. Also, it's just going to help you maybe set some goals for yourself. I want to learn how to do this. I want to learn how this works, or how can we do it this way? That kind of stuff. And if you can go in kind of open-minded and wanting to learn, that's going to help those sucky days be that much easier, because yeah, you're working. Sometimes working sucks, but at the same time, you're getting to educate yourself in a way that classroom teaching just can't quite educate you, if that makes sense. Which leads me to my 4th tip. Be open-minded. This is one that I am admittedly still working on. I'm naturally a very rigid thinker. It's difficult for me to open my mind to new concepts or new methods of doing things. But my past 2 summers at the golf course have really helped me start to overcome this. And honestly, this, for me, it's more with the social side of things than with the actual work side. Most of my coworkers were boys around my age, and I think that's all that needs to be said about that. But it was very difficult, especially my first year. I was fresh out of high school, painfully shy, wasn't very confident in myself or in my abilities, unfortunately, so I was very withdrawn and very quiet at work. And then I would look around at the boys and I would overhear their conversations, and it's just like, they don't pay me enough to put up with this. Anyways, the point is, be open-minded. Reason I say that is because last year I had mostly a different group of coworkers. And, some of those old feelings still resurfaced, as they do. But I was able to be much more open-minded and able to just socialize with them much better. And it did make the experience a lot better than my previous year. So I hope you found those tips helpful. If you have any others that I didn't mention here, share them in the comments. I would love to hear. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you for watching.